Hey, welcome to the Dating Unsettled show where we dare to date differently. I'm Joy. I'm your host. God, it's bright, isn't it? Let's just, yeah, let's have an evening together, shall we? Let's be intimate. Happy Valentine's Day, Unsettlers. I'm so glad to be reaching you. You didn't think I was going to leave you hanging on the most lovely day of the year. Certainly not when we are in a Valentine's Day curation by Apple Podcasts. Certainly not when Apple Podcasts has recommended us to all users for Valentine's Day US wide and maybe even some other countries as well. Y'all, great things are happening for the podcast. Great things are happening for me. Great things are happening for us because people have found out that we do real talk over here and they like it and they're attracted to it like a bee to a flower full of pollen. Well, I thought I would start by sharing what I did for Valentine's Day. My Valentine's Day is literally still happening as I'm recording this for you. That's why it was kind of tough to jump out of everything. But let's see. I woke up. I sent loving messages and pictures to Yvonne because I was in Los Angeles this morning. I know, insane. I had just attended the LA premiere of Churchy last night. Then, boom, fly from LA to the Bay. And I dropped off some chicken wings for my mom because I had a feeling mom and dad would want to taste some of this goodness that I tasted yesterday. Then I drove back home. I got the chance to get some flowers from Yvonne, which was really sweet. He got me these pink tulips that I really like. I didn't bring them here because he told me I should just leave them and I shouldn't bring them everywhere, even though that's exactly what I want to do. So I got these pink tulips. He got me another set of flowers, which is so cute, so I can like make a bouquet. And then I gifted him some family photos, some protein as a joke, and another big surprise gift. Men love it. It's not the one you think, but it's really good. So feel free to check out Dating Unsettled if you want to see what I got him. I'll be revealing that soon, maybe tomorrow. What else happened? Okay, Yvonne set up a afternoon paint and sip for me in my living room. So that was so cute. We painted each other, and also on Dating Unsettled, we have reveals of what both of those images look like. For those of you who are watching the Dating Unsettled podcast on YouTube, you lucky ducks, you get to see maybe even before people on Instagram see. So here you go. I'm going to show you this image here. This is what Yvonne and I both painted of each other. I mean, come on. Like, that is just literally so precious. We did our best, okay? We had a really good time just chilling and painting. We painted for 2 hours. So I just love that as an idea. I'm very low key. Like, we're going to go to dinner after this probably. And just to do something really chill with my boyfriend is exactly what I wanted and needed on this day. Other than that, the Netflix team and I were collaborating. Y'all saw that I hosted the red carpet premiere of Players. Players is on Netflix. It's a rom-com about a group of friends in their like 30s who are running game on different people, running different plays. Stars Gina Rodriguez, Marlon Wayans Jr., Tom Ellis, Augustus Prue, Joel Courtney, and Liza Koshy, as well as Ego Nwodim, who I love. I find her so funny. I'm late to the ego train, but I'm glad that I'm on it. Netflix and I partnered to do the premiere and some content. So you will see that content already. It's a collab between myself, Netflix Golden, Con Todo, and Strong Black Lead, as well as Netflix Film. So you'll find that one up already. What I'm going to post today that you'll also find is Dating Unsettled, with some specific Joy created questions. I'm really glad that they let me play around with it when I was on the carpet and ask some dating this or that's. So if you want to see the this or that game, be sure to go to the Dating Unsettled social media accounts where you'll see us messing around with the cast of Players, and they tell us what they think about dating. They tell me, Joy, what they think, which is so fun. I love meeting with my fellow actors. It has been a month for entertainment. So disclaimer on the Netflix Players, yes, we collaborated on that, but we're not officially collaborating on this episode, right? So Netflix is not sponsoring this episode. I'm speaking freely as a fan, as a consumer, to give my thoughts on love inspired by the film Players. So that's what I thought I would get into today. On the matter of Valentine's Day, before I dive into that, please, y'all, just know that however you are spending this day is good, is great. I'm excited for you that you are alive and interested in love. I'm excited that you're putting yourself forward. If you are taking a break, I'm proud of you for taking that break. There's no relationship status that you need to have. I was even listening to another favorite podcast of mine, You Up. Both of us are in Apple Podcasts curation, both Dating Unsettled and You Up. You Up was talking about how women sometimes, especially, we have this push to like be in a relationship. I was like, whoa, I can totally relate to that. Like there was definitely some moments when swiping years ago where I was like, it's a state that I require. Just like it. It's yummy. I like being in love. I like being one person's particular love. I really like that. Call me a monogamous wench, but it's delightful. Love is delightful. And I don't believe in shaming people for wanting it, but I do believe in interrogating it. If you find yourself, as you're listening to this on or after Valentine's Day or in between, you find yourself in a state of really craving love, like you can't even, like it's overpowering you. It's overpowering your thoughts, or this is what I think is worse, when you begin to think less of yourself because of how much you want it. That's a good opportunity to take a break, step back, and think that maybe you are better than what you're seeking. Maybe there's more in store for you than what you are so desperately seeking. Maybe it's going to come to you in a different package, different form, on a different timeline that's not your own. Can somebody say amen? I think that the whole like it'll find you when you least expect it pisses me off. I don't like it. I don't expect you to like it. So I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about interrogate love today. If you're single and you're not happy with the state of being single, and I don't mean that like, oh, ideally I've been in a relationship, but I mean like you're genuinely unhappy today or this week, or as you're thinking about love, take a second with yourself and be like, where's that coming from? Because the world is available to you. It's open to you. Everybody's not for you. So I don't mean that there are millions of people who, are going to be your partners or knocking down your door. That's not what I'm talking about. No matter your life circumstances, I believe there's someone for everyone. I talked about this on Good Morning America. So the fact that you can and should remain open to the possibility that even as you're listening to my voice, things are unfolding for you in a way that you cannot predict with love. Partnership is happening. Partnership is possible. We see others in love. Maybe you've been in love before. You're going to be in love again. So if you've been through a breakup or a tough time, I want you to know that what is in front of you, it's not necessarily going to look like what's behind you. So of course you're anxious. Of course you're scared. It's okay to be a little bit uncertain. Hell, I'm 2 years deep into a loving relationship, and I still believe that there will be things that are going to be required of my relationship that I've never seen, that I don't even know how to prepare for. The things that I'm saying that I want in my relationship, family planning, deeper commitment, love, combining our finances, marriage, babies, all the type of stuff that I'm claiming that I want for my future. I'm not ready for that right now. I don't have the answers for that, but they're going to come. I don't know what it looks like exactly, but I know what it feels like, and I want it. So I hope that's inspiration to some of you on V-Day. Unsettlers, you've been rocking with me. You've been listening to this podcast. You've been tuning in, and I appreciate you for it. Thank you for spending time here and for being vulnerable and for helping to contribute to what we know and what I get feedback on, what we know is a healthier internet because you're an unsettler. It's a healthier online dating conversation. It's a healing dating conversation. That's really cool to me. All right, let's get into players. So I think that this episode would best be watched if you've already seen Players, the rest of this podcast episode. But I'm going to do my best not to spoil it for you so that if you are thinking about watching Players later, and you still have a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. First topic that I want to touch on, the first theme Players reminded me of, is being in your 30s and running out of time. I'm not presently in my 30s. I'm actually in my 20s. A lot of people know that about me as a creator. Sometimes people look at me, they don't know, what are you, Gen Z? I am Gen Z. I'm on the cusp. And it's kind of funny because I feel like there's this movie trope about being 30 and being like, oh, I gotta get serious, I need to settle down. And I find it so weird because I always felt that. Like, I just always felt like I wanted to be in a loving, serious relationship. From the time I was young, maybe fourth grade. My first relationship wasn't until high school, wasn't until junior year. But seriously, from a very young, it's almost troubling. Like, what about me being a young, not even a young woman, but a baby, a child, made me want that partnership so bad? And I've talked about it in some other episodes. I think it's like what we see, but I don't know. I mean, in my 20s, if I have to get very, very real, the only thing on my mind that makes me go, oh, I must, even though it's fake, I must be in a serious partnership right now, is the maternal clock. The maternal clock, it ticketh black women's. This is a tougher topic. I don't want to bog this episode down too low, but black women's maternal health is top of mind for me. The older that I get, the more changes are happening with my body. I'm literally in my 20s. I'm starting to be allergic to stuff that I was never allergic to. So things are shifting and changing and graying, might I add. Grays are appearing in various places. And I'm like, whoa, I'm starting to get that itch where I'm like, I want to be a mom. And then if you are traditional like me, you start working backwards. To be a mom would require the marriage. Marriage would require the engagement. Engagement requires I'm in a relationship working towards the engagement. So in my 20s, I'm thinking about it. But, Mac, who is played by Gina Rodriguez, and the cast of players, like, they're in this weird balance of, like, they've been running these games for maybe 12 years. And even Liza Koshy's character is like, wait, y'all been doing this for 12 years? 12 years they are kind of, scamming their dates and doing fraud and impersonations and stalking and costumes and, fake names and nicknames just to get people to sleep with them. It's like really funny. Definitely an adult film. A film for adults. It's not an adult film. It's a film for adults. Yeah. But long story short, when I think about that dynamic of like being in your 30s and all of a sudden getting serious, I'm like, that kicked in for me early. However, I can empathize and imagine, maybe it's due to my cultural background being Nigerian, if I was in my 30s, not yet with child, and single, as probably a lot of you are based on the demographics, I can relate to that almost panic. Like, where is he coming from? Where's he going to come from? It's anxiety inducing. I don't say that to like have a solution or an answer. I can't speak to something that I haven't lived through yet. But just to say that watching players, I was like, yeah, if I was, 33 and I had no boyfriend even or committed partner to speak of, especially in this culture of like a lack of commitment, I might be like, it's getting tough out here. So that's a very real thing that comes up in players, and I think a lot of people will be able to relate to. And then you start to see some of the characters throughout the film get more serious with serious partners because they think it's the right thing to do. I just always hope that it's internally driven. That me being with somebody is because I decided it's best for me and my growth and my personal development, and because I can contribute a lot to a healthy relationship, not just, oh, I'm in my 20s, oh, I'm in my 30s, oh, I'm in my 40s. I should be with someone. I think we can throw that away because I think we've seen a bunch of lovely people not meet their partners until later, or meet their partners and then fall in love and do the marriage thing later. It's so exciting. Yvette Nicole Brown, for example, is engaged, and I believe she's in her 40s or 50s, don't get me wrong, but she is in this gorgeous relationship with somebody she's known for a long time. Same thing also if you listen to Monique on Club Shay. She's like, yep, the person that I'm currently married to, my husband or manager, she knew him from a long time, but he was just her friend. Which brings me to another theme on players, which is dating your best friend or dating coworkers. This is tough. I have a whole episode. Please go listen to the Dating Unsettled episode on shooting at your best friend. It is a tough episode because to me it's just like a difficult topic. There's so many emotions that are mixed up in feeling that romantic or passionate about somebody that's just like your person. Your Christina Yang, Meredith Grey type person. Not your boo, but your person. You love the crap out of that friend so much that it starts to become romantic, and then can I take this somewhere? So I'm not going to spoil players for anybody, but it's so obvious literally from the first scene. I love when Mac, played by Gina Rodriguez, she runs underneath the subway And then she runs back out to Adam and she waves bye, just so that, he sees her again. And she's like, bye, bye, bye. It's just the cutest little thing. And I'm like, oh, that is such best friend behavior, to have these little quirks of saying goodbye to each other. And the warmth that's conveyed through the screen was just like really familiar to me. And their best friend dynamic. And one thing, again, no spoilers, but one thing that I noticed throughout watching Players is you have to, like, I watched it twice. So the first time as a preview, the second time at the premiere. If y'all watch Players once or twice, you'll start to hear Mac and Ads or Adam look the heck out for each other and know little things about each other that only best friends know, that even boyfriends or partners or girlfriends can't quite name. Only best friends know that kind of stuff. So there's a beautiful kind of intimacy to best friendship that could or could not spring into relationship. You never know which way it's going to go. But I do recommend to folks that, like, look at the people in your life. If you're on Valentine's Day, you're single, you're swiping, you're dating, maybe they're friends, maybe they're best friends, hell, in your life that you're like, you know what, if I look at them sideways, that could be, and it could be. It's kind of beautiful, kind of painful, kind of really painful, but I don't know, try it. Okay. The next theme is internet stalking. I love the internet stalking in Players. Even watching it gave me some ideas. They literally like trace one of these characters down to the bookstore that he's giving a talk at, just so she could appear at that bookstore. That is the type of stalking that I'm talking about. I love it. I love to see it. It's exciting. I don't know if I recommend it as a long-term strategy to be in a relationship, but it literally, I did feel a little attacked. I too have stalked an author. I too have listened to his works before going on the date, because why not? For me, this is how internet stalking and dating goes. If this person has an internet presence, I'm going to find it. If this person has a presence that is consistent and they are constantly posting something that they're passionate about, I want to read it. I want to watch it. I want to get into it. I want to listen to it, because it will tell me a little bit more about them. Do I need to consume their entire catalog before date one? No, but it's going to come up, because I too am very present online. And one thing that I was worried about when dating was, oh my God, I have millions of people now watching my content. Thousands or hundreds of thousands of people are following me. Is this guy going to look me up? And how is he going to judge me based on what he sees? And my episode with Yvonne, my boyfriend, Meet My Man, our online love story, it actually answers that question. So honestly, whether you post online or don't, and you're worried about internet stalking, like the cast of Players, is constant. Like, they are constantly stalking. It honestly, all the girls in the group chat together and just literally take notes on how well they stalk. They're finding out the minutia of even who he's on a date with. I'm like, that's my type of crazy. So getting in there is kind of fascinating, but I do recommend looking up somebody you're about to go on a date with. I'm sorry. I absolutely do. The last two things that I wanted to touch on with Players is this theme of like putting on a persona or having like fake interests to match his or her or their interests. This is really tricky. So I think that there's a fine line between internet stalking somebody because you're passionate about what they're passionate about, or you think they're really cool and you want to, just impress them with what you know or connect to them on a deeper level. That's all good and well. But the watch out, and we see this happening a little bit in Players, is where looking into those interests starts to replace your own. And you start performing, like in my opinion, Mac does, you start performing what that person is into. There's this whole beautiful scene, not going to ruin it, but it happens pretty soon at the top of the film. And you're just like, damn, like the ability to be almost like Kirby, just, suck up his interests and model that. It's a skill, but is it a skill you want to practice? So just remember what you love. Remember the things that you love to do. I know that even as I go through my relationship with Yvonne, we had a very serious moment where we were like, whoa, I'm deeply interested in film and movies. You are not. You are deeply interested in soccer or coaching or soccer strategies in a way that I am not. You like movies. I like soccer, but there's, going all the way to the ends of something and realizing, okay, he's over here. I'm over here on this interest and on this passion for this interest, but they don't need to meet. They don't have to match up. Your interest levels do not have to match up. There can be a little bit of a source of tension, but look, he comes to my premieres and screenings and events and talks, and I go to his games, and I go where he's coaching. Like, that is love. Love is participating with interest and with kindness without it replacing your personality or performing a different person. So that was kind of tough to watch in players because when you're watching it, you're like, oh, like it's almost embarrassing. You're like, I've been this, I've done this. The last theme is wanting the finished product guy or finished product person. I don't know that men want this as much as women do in my experience talking about love and talking about dating. But oh God, I was guilty of this. I came off of a high school sweetheart relationship into an adult relationship, right? So in that jump in between, I became an adult. I was like, oh, the things that I want now are grown folk things. I want somebody with a credit score. I want somebody that knows, finances, or I want somebody that's street smart, knows how to travel. I want somebody that's cultured. God dang, somebody that can speak a language or two or three. I want somebody that is funny and has a sense of humor, that is rich and mature and cultivated. I want somebody that knows their way around a kitchen because I did not. I want somebody that is good with their family because they've been working on and healing different wounds. I want somebody like I had all of these wants, and somebody that's like deeply in their walk with God and Christ, and just I had all these things. These are adult desires. Adult desires are okay and sane to have, and I think that they make for great alignment. Like me wanting somebody that already had a university degree because I was completing grad school when I was dating. That's fair and that's good, and it worked for me. I'm not advocating stepping away from your like finished product list. What I am saying though is be careful chasing somebody who's at the end of the rainbow. Because I definitely saw, it wasn't a ton, but maybe one, two, maybe three guys when swiping or dating. Oh, you got the NFL contract. You must be end of the rainbow. Oh, he's about to graduate from grad school. Me too. End of the rainbow. We got it made. We just put his finishedness together and my finishedness together, and we're going to be perfect. Like, I had these kind of ideas about what it would be like to meet somebody who's already furthered themselves in every way or has reached the top of their industry and their career or whatever. And it's like there are so many parts of myself that even in that moment of seeking that perfection, let's call it perfection, that perfection out, I was unfinished. So why did I expect that of somebody else? And honestly, the beauty has been one, humility. So realizing that I wasn't the perfect package, because there is no perfect package. I was a damn good package when dating, and I still am. I'm a great partner. I'm a healthy partner. I'm a partner who provides. I feel anybody would be lucky to be with me, and I would be lucky to be with the person that my partner is. But at the same time, you don't need the person that you're dating to have completed all the cycles of stuff. The second, like not the second after, but pretty soon after I met Yvonne, I was this like stable marketer, full-time job, benefits, 401k. I was like, hey babe, I'm gonna quit and become an actor. And he supported me through that. And then I'm back at like basically square one, where I'm getting new equipment and I'm filming stuff and I'm learning the industry again and I'm ordering books and I'm taking classes and now I'm a student again and I'm back. And so it doesn't matter that I went to grad school and I did all this. I'm a student of learning how to be a CEO, student of being a talent, of running my own business. And I see this in players because you've got these folks that are happy, so happy in their careers that they are worried when kind of something is going on at work. And they think, well, I deserve finished because I've been, this is this mentality we get stuck in. I deserve finished product because I've been through so much mud. I'm just going to use the word mud. I've been through so much mud. I deserve finished. And that's to me an incorrect thought. It's not, I deserve complete whole human being who's just, check mark finished their journey because I've been through it. It's because I've been through it. And now I'm in a happy and healed position where I've done work on myself, where I know that I'm not going to carry all that mud with me to the next person. I deserve to meet somebody who is committed to their own fulfillment. Whew. I really say things on this podcast, Dating Unsettled, and I'm glad that y'all are listening. You deserve somebody who is committed to the journey. You deserve somebody who's committed to self-love. You deserve somebody who's open to change, to growth, to meditation. They don't need to be perfect or finished. Mac. So y'all, if you do watch Players, come and listen to this again and see if it resonates with you. If you're starting to notice these themes, I'm going to put an Instagram post up of the questions that I had for the cast of players from Netflix. It's streaming on Netflix now as of V-Day. And I'm just excited to see what people think as we just talk about these things. These are like, I love watching grown folks films and grown folk problems with a grown folk lens. So definitely watch Players. And to wrap this up, Unsettlers, I have a recommended read for you. It is, it's unsettling. This recommended read is the Skin Deep 12 Questions for Love Challenge. Y'all know that I partnered with the Skin Deep earlier, not currently in this moment on this podcast, but I did earlier this year. And the Skin Deep believes in the transformative power of human connection, which is crazy because I believe in the healing power of humor. They've been creating spaces for couples around the globe to explore their connection, deepen relationships. You've seen these videos. This is where you have couples sitting across from each other. They start asking deep questions. And I just love what the Skin Deep is. I brought it to the Dating Unsettled Experience LA. I'm going to continue to travel it. Please check out the 12 Questions for Love Challenge. You basically just need a couple of hours, maybe even just an hour if you want. You can do it anywhere with your partner. Take your time, set a little vibe, and you ask each other questions like, what are your 3 favorite memories that you share with this person? Why do you cherish them? What was your first impression of this person? How has it changed over time? And I find it's crazy that you can feel different from these conversations and you start to deepen your relationship just by asking each other intentional questions and setting aside that space and time. So lovers, that's the episode. Happy Valentine's Day. Watch Players, listen to 12 Questions for Love, go to the Dating Unsettled Instagram, and let's keep getting into this conversation. Thank you for supporting this podcast. Look out for us on Apple Podcasts. We have a Valentine's Day curation that they put together, as well as social media. Thank you, Apple Podcasts, for seeing Dating Unsettled, recognizing and honoring the work that I do and that we do as a community to heal and help each other as we grow and swipe. It's really exciting. A lot of cool things are happening for Unsettled now that people are finding me and finding this podcast just based on what we do. So yeah, we're going to continue to see you hopefully around the world this year. Take care and Dating Unsettled.